Hey guys, aloha. This is your girl Faye for the Faye and Sita segment, Mommy Corny segment of our channel. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's Friday night. It's really late. I tried so many different types of lighting, and you can't see my dark skin itself. So this is the best that I actually could do. And so if I know you see probably some like little streams or whatever, it's the best that I can do as far as lighting. Anyway. So last week I talked about New Year's resolution, time management, and I did want to do, and originally wanted to do a part 2 of the time management thing as far as what I do, and I wanted to touch base on what I do. Maybe it could help you guys out too. But something happened on Wednesday. I kind of want to change directions because something happened on Wednesday, and so I kind of want to do maybe a minute or so about how important this is. So Wednesdays are usually really, really difficult for me. First of all, let me say I have acute anxiety. So things that you might not, or most people, or you might not think is a big deal, is a big deal to me. I get easily, not necessarily easily frustrated, but overwhelmed very easily, and a lot of my anxiety stems from my childhood, and I'm trying to work through it. It's very acute. I don't have to take meds or something, anything like that. I just have to learn different coping mechanisms to be able to handle it. So, I know I say a lot. So just bear with me because it's a lot, and I'm trying to go back to what was going on Wednesday. So, head anxiety. So Wednesday's really hard for me. My daughter has an early, after I get a walk, do work. My daughter has an early day. Usually right after that, we're coming straight home. We're doing regular homework, and then I have to drive her to Kumon and all that jazz to get dinner done. Like I said, my husband, as I told you before, my husband works nights, so it's just me doing a lot of things, right? So Wednesday, I was, for some reason, and I usually can handle it, but for some reason after dinner, I usually run my daughter's bath. She can usually turn it off at a certain time. She knows she knows turn it off. She climbs on in herself and she starts scrubbing herself. I make sure that things are done at the bottom where she can reach it because she's old enough now, and that's what I like about it, because she's a little bit independent. So now while she's doing that, I could go ahead and take the dinner, putting in leftover Tupperware, clean the kitchen and stuff like that. Not all the way usually, because that's around the time my husband usually wakes up and he'll have dinner. And I'll put off some things for the leftovers or sides for him, depending on if he's going to take what I made for dinner that night or the dinner the night before. Anyway, so just back and forth that. And then, of course, she wears uniforms at school. Not necessarily uniforms, but t-shirts she has to wear Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And of course, she has several shirts, but still every 2 days, I still have to wash. And so I realized in the middle of me, okay, starting her bath water, telling her, check on your water, coming downstairs, I realized I got to do a small load of her laundry. Now, her laundry has to be separate from ours because she has eczema. So I have to use a certain type of detergent. Usually I make my own, or if I don't feel like making my own, I get the clear, no fragrance and all that jazz that you get, right? So I'm like, I need to do a load real quick. So in the middle of doing all of that, for some reason, I just got overwhelmed. I'm like, okay. We have 2 stories, so I'm running up the stairs. I gotta go run back upstairs to get her clothes out of her closet. Come back downstairs. Go ahead and start, wait till the water goes in. I come back, I'm like, oh, let me sweep real quick. It just was a lot going on, and for some reason, you just have one of those days where it's just like, I do this all the time, but today I can't handle it. So I was just like, you know what? I told her to check her water. I stopped sweeping, put the clothes in slowly, and then I poured myself a glass of champagne, and I went in my closet. And a good thing about, I'm fortunate enough to have a closet where I can actually walk in it and I can sit down. So I walked in my closet and I sat down and I sipped my champagne. And then at that time, I sat in there for about 3 minutes, and then I come downstairs. My husband's up at the time, and he goes, your phone was going off. And I noticed as one of my girlfriends that, you know, she's my girlfriend, and she's also my loctician. And so if she calls, that means, you know, it's important, because we usually kind of text each other, unless, you know, every now and then we'll call and be like, hey girl, I want an appointment, or what you doing? So I'm like, well, she calls, this is, you know, I'm going to answer it. So I was like, is she in the bath? And I asked her, is she in the bath? It was like, you know, he goes, I don't know. I was like, well, can you make sure she's in the bath? Basically. So I take my phone and I call her right back, and it wasn't even nothing serious. She asked, I can't even remember what it was about, but it's so ironic, because what happened in that little 2-minute conversation, she started venting, and then I started venting, right? And then I'm like, okay. So then I kind of check on my daughter real quick. And then, because she's getting in the tip, I'm like, cool. I come downstairs, pour some more champagne in my glass, go back upstairs, go back in my closet, and sit down. And she's venting about what's going on with her. And then I'm venting like, you know, things are well, but today is just like, you know, bam, bam, bam. And then, you know, in between that, I have my daughter coming in while I'm talking on the phone. I have my husband coming in talking on my phone. And I'm just like, this is exactly why I'm in my closet right now, and I got overwhelmed. This is exactly why. Because I can't even have a minute of just talking to my friend without somebody needing me. So, my point is, after that, and what's crazy is we ended up being on the phone, and I remember hanging up and look at the time for almost 3 hours. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes. I have never talked to her. Like, the last time I probably talked to somebody that long was maybe my sister, and it was months ago. Because with the time zone difference, most of the time, it's texting. And we might text in a span of 2 hours, but, and I mean, like, it will probably go 30 minutes without a response from either one of us. But like, literally talking on the phone for 2 hours and 45 minutes, I haven't done that since I was probably like a teenager, because ain't nobody got time to be sitting on the phone that long. You know, like, not my age and not as mothers. We just don't do that. Most of us are doing things and responding in between, like texting. Like, that's what we're doing. And quite frankly, I am not a phone person. I don't care to talk on the phone, really. To do videos like this is a lot for me, because I am a writer. I like to write out what's going on with me and how I feel and stuff. So doing these videos sometimes is a lot. Anywho, so when I hung up and I realized immediately how important it is for us as mothers to have that sister circle. And I'm going to say sister circle as a sister circle, because even though our channel is geared towards women and we want to be like that, there is a whole different feeling and vibe when it is another Black woman. Those are things I feel like we were like that in Africa before we split apart across the South Americas and the Caribbeans and then the American South. We had that kinship. It's on, and I am not a religious person. It's on a whole spirit. It's a spiritual connection that you have with another Black woman, and only Black women get exactly what I'm saying. And so that sister circle is so important. And I know for me, I didn't realize it until I lived out here. And if you even if you probably live in a small town that's predominantly white, or you do live across seas like myself, like, yes, I'm in America, but it's still considered overseas. You don't realize how important a sister circle is until you're in an environment where, like, I have to seek out somebody before I go crazy. And so, when I was as soon as I got off the phone with her, I realized just how important it is. And so I felt such a relief after that. Like, things went smoothly. I had a different perspective. And the next day, yesterday, Thursday, I got up and I felt like Superwoman. And I know it's because I was able to not just necessarily vent or bitch or whatever you want to call it. It was, I got, we took each other's energy and was able to do something with it together. Whether it be she gave me some food for thought or some advice and vice versa. And I remember she texted me the other day and was like, I felt like Superwoman. I never got to respond and tell her, me too. Like my day, I got up and it was great. And so I just wanted to also say that it is so important for you to find your sister circle. And I understand, the connotation of, women are catty and all that jazz, and females this and females that, and just sometimes when people say that, I feel like you probably should take a look at yourself, and they probably aren't very good people. I actually feel sorry for people when they say, I don't hang around females, because females have helped me not completely go psycho. As a mom, it has helped me not like go crazy and want to kill somebody. So I feel bad for those people that can't find, even if that's one friend, even if it is that one friend. It doesn't have a bunch of people, because I only maybe have 3 or 4 I'm really close to, and 2 of them don't even live on an island, but I'm talking about really, really close to is very, very small. But that very, very small group is like a huge family to me. And so I think it's important for us to get reconnected. If you if you have that, awesome. If you don't get it, if you had it, try to recreate it with somebody, because I understand sometimes it's learning and unlearning, and sometimes it's like you learned that and this is not the group, or this is not the person, and we have that's what I was looking for, trial and error. I knew I was going to get it while I was talking, trial and error. But I think it's so important, and running into so many women, specifically Black women, that don't have that, and I think it's one of the reasons why we are probably very stressed, and stress is one of the killers of Black women, specifically Black mothers, because I feel like we don't have the type of support that a mother needs. I mean, it's one of those things that it's a universal thing. Mothers need some type of support, and that doesn't necessarily mean physical, like somebody come in and clean up and cook. It's just being able to step outside of being a mom and a wife for maybe an hour and be able to be like ourselves, whether that be, a book club or something simple as, hey girl, let's get some tea. Let's talk for 30 minutes. And I don't think I know some women that's all they get. And just that 30 minutes once a week keeps them from completely like crumbling. So I think that's really important, and people need to, we as women need to look out for a sister circle or a sister friend, or perhaps something like that. So anywho, I know I went on rambling and stuff like that, and I hope I made sense, but what happened to me on Wednesday was so near and dear to my heart that I felt like I needed to say that tonight. Like, we need that, and we need to be that friend that's part of the sister circle. If we're that friend that's like usually take the lead and initiate it, and you initiate it, because you'll realize that you probably need it more than you think. Like, you might be doing it for this person, like let me start something and let me go out there and do that for that person, maybe like text them and be like lunch, and you don't even realize it's probably you that need it most, So anyway, this is your girl Faye, Mommy Corner Monday, on finding that sister circle. Aloha.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.